Hi, I'm Megan McKeefrey, and I'm here in the city of Appleton speaking with Greg Young with the IBEW Local 577. Hi, Greg.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Could you tell me a little bit about your work and what you guys do here?
Yeah, this is the IBEW Local 577 in Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm the business manager here. We're a local union of electricians. I represent approximately 400 members throughout the Fox Valley and Oshkosh area, and we typically do work with about 25 local contractors from the area.
Okay. Could you tell me, have you seen any negative effects in your industry due to the paper sector losing jobs?
Oh, very much so, Megan. Besides the obvious of the loss of the paper mills, the plant closings, and the loss of manufacturing jobs, it's had a negative impact on construction workers and my IBEW members also. It's a trickle-down effect that you've heard about in other areas also, whereas a lot of times the paper industry would have capital projects going that would employ my contractors, which in turn would employ my members. With that downturn in that industry, my members are no longer employed in those areas and are forced to look for work outside of my area and even out of state sometimes.
Okay. Have you seen an overall effect on this relating to the tax base in the community?
Oh, definitely, and once again it's a trickle-down effect of the obvious of no employment in the manufacturing positions that were good, high-paying jobs. A similar thing in the construction market. And with my electricians, obviously the less people working is you're going to have a smaller tax base to work on, and it negatively impacts everything through the infrastructure of a city.
All right. Do you think this has any impact on the school system?
Oh, by all means, yes. And you see that also is people that are no longer employed are less likely to make and vote for capital improvements. You're seeing reduction in instructors, educators, and facilities, and the loss of being able to have extracurricular activities because the tax base is dwindling because the employment's not there.
All right. You told me that a lot of your members have to seek work out of the state.
Correct.
What do you think that has impact on the family structure?
Oh, it's very hard on my members when they have to seek work outside of the state. They're temporarily employed somewhere else. They're usually living out of a hotel, and their family still remains back here. So it's very hard for them to be able to keep that family focus going and stay involved like you normally do.
Mm-hmm. So you would say that there's been a direct impact on your members here with the loss of manufacturing jobs in the paper sector?
Yes, by all means. We typically had a lot of employment from the paper mill industry when they were going strong. There was a lot of capital improvements being done, which in turn led to work for my members. With the loss of that industry, it's had a negative impact on my members, so they were forced to look for work elsewhere.
Are we ready?
Yeah. What type of burden do you see this having on the community as far as donations and nonprofit groups with your members?
And directly we can see that because we're always being asked to participate and donate, and we haven't had the ability to do that in the last several years because our income is down because my members are not working locally, and I would suspect that that's happening throughout the community also. As people don't have jobs, there's not extra money out there, so you're going to see donations go down, which is negatively impacting our community in that sector also.
Mm-hmm. So have you lived in this area your whole life?
I've lived in this area my whole life. I've been in this industry for 30 years. This is the absolute worst time that we've seen, and part of it is due because of the loss of the manufacturing sector in the paper mill industry.
Okay. How much would you estimate that your membership is down over the past few years?
I would estimate that our membership is probably down 10 to 15%.
Okay. What do you think needs to happen to keep good paying manufacturing jobs in the community?
I think we need to look at our the bigger picture on the issue as far as competition, foreign competition, and the unfair competition. I think cities and municipalities have to get involved and find ways to correct that factor, to encourage manufacturing to come back to our area, which in turn will have opportunities for good paying jobs.
Mm-hmm. If you had the power to speak to those in charge in Washington that are going to be making the final decision in this paper case, what would you ask them to consider?
I think that the biggest thing to consider is the fair trade. We need to work on that more heavily because the outsourcing of jobs overseas, I think there's a tremendous burden in unfair competition, so that would be my main focus.
Okay. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you for stopping.